Hello and welcome back to the newest update. Alright, well, this is the latest kind of thing here. This is the garlic harvest. This is all of it. I had kind of had it in 3 different spots, so they kind of matured at different times. And scapes had been cut off a while ago, and I'd used those up. And they probably could have gone a little longer, but I had a little too many splitting last year, so I figured I got a couple. The first one I got, if I found one that split, I wanted to pull them all up. So you see the ones over this side are kind of smaller, and I got some bigger ones. Not quite as, I think last year's harvest was a little bit better, even though I planted more this year than I did last year, but it is what it is. Any harvest is a good harvest, and we'll be good. All right. And next is a squirrel, where I battle constantly. All right, and this is the grocery store, just store-bought potatoes. Doing well. This one was planted a little bit later, so actually it wasn't growing. I dug it up and replanted it since I saw it was sprouting, chitting. These have not, I don't think these have flowered yet, because look, see, there's the flowers there. I don't think they've flowered yet, so that's a good sign. The edamame have grown exponentially from the last video. And I know it's sunny, so I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but you see these ones, this row up to about there were planted first, like just that a little bit. And then the second half over here was planted maybe a week later. I'm not sure. So they're a little bit, but the other doing well as well. And as you see down, see if we can get a good picture of that. It's very sunny out, so I'm not sure what I'm seeing here, but there are flowers forming, so that's a good sign. I don't know how in focus that is. It's very sunny out here. Flowers all around. There's some good ones there. So that is a good sign. Let's see if I can get a better in focus. Well, I guess that's better. The flowers are forming, so they should be. I noticed the one I've grown them before, that edamame. Usually it takes about 30 days for the flowers to form, and shortly after that, pods will start forming. So I have that patch there. I did another patch over there, but it's kind of getting overgrown by the potatoes. I actually may pull another one of these sweet potatoes out. I don't want them to go overgrow the edamame over here. I've tried to train them either way, back into the yard toward the fence or back into the whole patch here, but this one is growing a little too close, so I may want to trim that back. But as you can see, the sweet potatoes are finally starting to take off. I know they don't really start going crazy until late June and July, and they'll start really leafing out and vining out. Some more potatoes. These ones I didn't hill really enough, so they're kind of falling over. Well, they all kind of fall over, but this is a new bean bed, bush bean blue lake. The ones I planted over here weren't the greatest. I got some coming up. Some that came up only had one true leaf, and then I don't know if the bugs got them. It probably could have been slugs. I didn't put enough sluggo down. I'm guessing that could have been what the issue was. Some of them have made it, some of them have not. So I have another bed over here. My brother gave me some aromatic asters, I think these are, he called them. I need to find a spot for those. I don't have a whole lot of space left, especially for flowers. Here's the single cone flower that I got. I think it's actually 2 because I never thinned them. I think there actually might be 2 plants in there. I think this is a coreopsis. I was thinking maybe in the forget-me-not, but I think it's a coreopsis. It looks like it's going to be an orange kind of flower, and it looks exactly what I saw at Lowe's yesterday. I know the shade might be rough. It's I can't barely see. My daughter started some cucumbers on a little, grow your own kind of home grow kit, and they actually germinated, looking nice. So I found a spot for her. I put them in this morning, kind of heavily. We'll see which ones take. I was surprised since the seed starting mix was ultra bone dry, but they actually looked like they're in pretty good shape. A little leggy since they'd been just inside in a window, not even under grow lights, in a window, but they look pretty good. So we'll see what it takes. I'll see if we can train them with the fence and see if we can get us some cucumbers. I haven't done cucumbers in maybe 3 years, 2-3 years. Potatoes still looking nice, which is a good sign. Some are still flowering, as you see. And this is the other edamame bed. I had another, this path here, this walking path from this bed where the sweet potatoes are over here to over the main rootstock bed. I had made this rootstock bed a little smaller just so I wouldn't have quite as need as much mulch for the bed. So I made it a little smaller so I could keep it taller but smaller. So I had this space here that, even though the ground it had got walked on, it was pretty compacted. I figured, well, let me try to throw edamame in there. Now, I may see if I can pull up these potatoes like this, and then maybe get some more sun for the edamame here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. As you can see, they're growing nicely, but they're getting kind of overturned by the or overpowered by the potatoes here. Look at that squirrel. Look at that squirrel again. Look at him. Look at him. I'm sorry, buddy, but you gotta go. There's plenty of other yards where people don't care if you dig up stuff. Just stay away from my yard, buddy. Okay? I love you. You're cute, but you can't come in here, alright? Alright. Alright, now we got a little shade. As you can see, still everything doing pretty nice. Not much dieback here, which is good, because I'm hoping to go at least another month, or even 2. Late August, hopefully. The sunchokes, doing phenomenal. Let me get yeah, there we go. I really should have done this video in the morning where there wasn't quite so much sun. I'd be able to see what I'm doing a little bit. But as you see from the last video, they were below the fence, I think, when we came back from vacation. And as I said, the next video they would definitely be over the fence, and they are. At least this one in the middle that's doing the best. So that is probably about 4.5 feet now, because it's a 4-foot fence there. As you see, like regular sunflowers, they root very easily. Let me see if I can. And I'll start, see, like down here, see those little bumps? I would bury that. I'm sure that would probably root even more. I may do that at some point if I get time, just to help them as they get taller as wind support. But I don't know if I have to. We'll see what happens. These are the potted grocery store potatoes. This container, yeah, this one here is the bigger one, the bigger pot. Probably a minimum that I should want to do them in. I think there were 3 in there. And this one over here is a smaller pot. Quite a little small even for a single one. But I should have put just 1 in there, but I think I put 2. But if I can, if you see here, right there, if I can get that up, see, yep, there's a potato. I don't know how big it is from this angle, but it looks like it might be right. And then if you pull away the soil, the potting mix, you can see a few more. I'm gonna cut the grass later, and I will throw some grass on there so I don't have any more potting mix left, and I don't want to spend any more money and buy anymore. So I'm gonna mulch top of this pot with some grass clippings later on to keep those potatoes out of the sun. This one also has one that was poking above the surface somewhere. So there's potatoes in there. As you see, not really dying back. I mean, I've lost some of the leaves. I don't know if it's a watering issue, but the leaves will just, branches like this here, will just yellow up, and then I just rip them off. So that's why it looks a little bare in spots, not quite as lush as it had been. I don't know if that's some kind of virus, potato virus, or just watering issues or whatnot. I don't know. But hey, I'm seeing potatoes, so that's a good thing. I have dug up some potatoes from the Purple Majesty bed. But they're still, you know, not really dying back. They're getting thin and flopping over, but that's just because they're probably not healed enough. But I'll let those go at least another few weeks, unless they really start dying. Yeah. All right, let's go to the front yard. As you see, all the garlic had been harvested, as I said before. The rose campions need deadheaded very badly. They're done for now. I don't know if I even prune if they will come back. I don't know. I'm not really a rose campion expert. This is some kind of lily that just kind of a dull kind of flower. Not much color, but it smells heavenly. Trust me. I think this is a daisy. I just bought the clearance rack at Lowe's yesterday. Just watered it and see what happens. Black and blue salvias that my brother gave me a few weeks ago. Not doing much, but I'm surviving. The front sunchokes doing well as well. The roses, sporadic blooms, need deadheaded to look neaten up, and the foliage kind of goes, but it produces every year. He says you see over here, all that color. Volunteer 4 o'clocks. I just pulled some out because I'm not actually a huge fan of them. I kept them in because I didn't have anything else, but when I got this yesterday at the clearance rack at Lowe's, I wanted to give it a little more room, so I pulled a whole bunch out from here, a whole bunch out from here, and we'll see what happens. Not much else really going up front here. I bought just some marigolds because they're cheaper. I just wanted to put some in here that I had nothing so far this year. And down there I'm going to put some, and going around here I want to put some. And this is that, I think it's short tooth or sawtooth mountain mint that my brother gave me. Not much. It's doing kind of look like it did when they gave it to me. Long, leggy like this, but I believe it's a perennial or whatever, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the fall, and then see if it comes up next year. And as you see, I got some of I need to mulch this up and clean this bed up a lot, but I got some of the marigolds in. And the new highlight, I think, of the video may be the canna blooming. Yeah, they just started blooming. I don't think they were blooming in the last video, and here they are. Gorgeous, gorgeous plant. All right. Pretty flowers, large, interesting foliage. Just nice. And I don't dig it up. They say it's more of a tropical plant and not hardy for this area, but I've never had a problem with it. First year I didn't mulch it at all. After that, I've started mulching it somewhat. First couple of years I never mulched it, but I've started mulching it, and then I just leave it in the ground. I don't dig it up. Leave it. It does fine. And one more little thing. Look at this. Volunteer salvia growing from a rock. I did not plant that. I must have just volunteered there, and look at that. We have blooms already. Or buds already. And here's another one, actually. Just growing as a volunteer in a crack on the sidewalk. Neat, huh? Dianthus are done. And yeah, here's some just ones I bought at Lowe's yesterday. I'll get these in today, and you'll see them next video. Hopefully they start to thrive and give them more blooms. Alright, video's over. Peace.